fusion of Italian, French, and German cultures but still with a strong identity of its own, Switzerland makes an alluring travel destination. The landlocked European country is known for its attractive cities, its après-ski chic and famously idyllic mountain scenery complete with cuckoo clock houses and bell-adorned cows. Switzerland is still a place where you can imagine Heidi skipping through the alpine meadows. From my many visits to this breathtaking country over the years, here are my favorite best and beautiful places to visit in Switzerland. Interlaken, a pretty traditional resort town surrounded by stunning scenery. This is a traditional resort town located between two alpine lakes, although it's not so much the town which has earned itself a place on this list but the surrounding area. Interlaken lies at the footsteps of the most beautiful alpine range in all of Switzerland and arguably the whole world. The scenery is truly breathtaking with surrounding snow-capped mountains sprinkled with waterfalls, glacial lakes and lush green alpine meadows. It's also the main transport gateway to the mountains and lakes of that region, making it an excellent base for exploring. Expect stunning mountains, dense forests, alpine meadows and glaciers, great for both hiking and skiing. A UNESCO-listed city filled with picturesque medieval architecture. There are many beautiful cities to visit in Switzerland, but Bern, located near the center of the country, is pretty special. It's actually the capital of Switzerland, but it's one of Europe's smallest capitals. The medieval streets of Bern's old town is particularly scenic and has even earned itself a UNESCO World Heritage status. It's a compact, relaxed city where time moves slowly and the locals don't seem nearly as busy as other cities. Expect to see covered arcades, whimsical fountains, cobbled streets, world-class galleries, fantastic urban swimming, and traditional architecture all framed by rolling hills and the glacial Ahr River. Located at the foothills of picture-perfect Mount Pilatus, is a quintessentially Swiss city beloved of many a visitor and home to traditional town squares, historic buildings, painted facades, and narrow cobbled streets lined with shops selling traditional goods. The gorgeous city is also famous for its beautifully preserved medieval bridges, one of which dates back to 1333. There are lots of things to see and do in Lucerne. Make sure you add extra visiting time for the picturesque Lake Lucerne. It's a huge irregularly shaped lake encircled by towering mountains, an area that is often said to be similar to Norway's famous fjords. Swiss National Park. Part of the worldwide UNESCO Biosphere Reserve known for its stunning alpine scenery, Switzerland has only one national park, but this one is pretty special. Located in the western Rhaetian Alps, in eastern Switzerland, it's part of the UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. It's home to beautiful scenery, wildlife and 80 kilometers of paths which allows visitors to explore the carefully preserved alpine environment. Expect to see winding wild azure rivers, stunning peaks and dense areas of beautiful alpine forest. Zermatt and Matterhorn, the famous alpine peak ever and its neighboring mountain resort village located in southern Switzerland's Valais canton. This is Switzerland's highest ski resort. Zermatt is a car-free alpine village famous for both its picture postcard prettiness and its close location to the imposing Matterhorn. The steep slopes of this famous mountain once intimidated hikers from even attempting to scale it. Since the first successful attempt in 1865, many more brave mountaineers have made it to the top of the famed mountain. This area is easily one of the most beautiful places to visit in Switzerland, but this kind of scenery comes at a price. Accommodation in Zermatt is among the most expensive in the country. Located on the northern shores of the eponymous lake, Zurich wins hearts with a magnificent panorama of the snow-covered Alps on the horizon. The city center is bristling with tourist attractions, sights, and interesting things to do. More than 50 museums, 100 art galleries, boutiques, and a vibrant nightlife will keep you pretty busy. Architecture lovers will appreciate centuries-old buildings adorned with fresco paintings and plants in flower pots. When checking out the old town of Zurich, look closely at the St. Peter's Cathedral. It has the largest clock face in Europe. If you prefer recreational activities outside of city confines, boating on the lake or hiking along the scenic Uetliberg mountain trails are at your disposal. Château de Chillon, a beautiful and romantic castle nestled on Lake Geneva. Lake Geneva is one of the most famously beautiful lakes in the world, but if you really want to crank up the fairy tale factor, then head for Château de Chillon. This medieval castle lords it over Lake Geneva from its rock island, and offers gorgeous views both inside and out. Over 1,000 years of history are displayed in the remarkably well-preserved castle, and the building has inspired the works of famed writers Jean-Jacques Rousseau and Lord Byron. If you visit, you'll see why. Lake Geneva, Switzerland is often called the country of mountains and lakes. It harbors around 1,500 lakes, and every single one of them is beautiful in their own way. The most mesmerizing water is perhaps Lake Geneva, the largest lake in the Swiss Alps and the second largest freshwater body in Central Europe. It fascinates with its pristine beauty and unusually clear waters. Not for nothing is it compared with a mirror. The Alps covering it from the wind make the water surface unshakable. This natural mirror reflects picture postcard mountain peaks, vineyards, tall spruces, buildings, and medieval castles scattered across the slopes. A beach holiday on Lake Geneva is truly a unique pastime. Only here you can sunbathe while admiring snow-capped summits. The Wengen, a pretty Swiss alpine village known for its timber chalets and Belle Epoque hotels. The alpine village in the Bernese Oberland region is easily one of the most stunning places to take a trip to in Switzerland. Wengen is an impossibly perfect example of an alpine village where traditional timber chalets cling to the slopes of the Lauterbrunnen Valley. It's been developed into a car-free resort town that has an exclusive upscale feel and a fine collection of Belle Epoque hotels. In winter, the high altitude and gorgeous scenery attract a discerning skiing crowd. In fact, Wengen has so many skiers at this time its population increases almost tenfold. Lake Eschinen, one of Switzerland's best-kept secrets. Located in Switzerland's Kander Valley, this pristine, stunning lake is fed by the glacial brooks of 3 surrounding mountains. It's a beautiful and tranquil spot where nature lovers come to swim, row, hike and, in winter, ride the 3.5-kilometer-long toboggan run which travels from the lake to the gondola station. The surrounding area is also known for its rich flora and fauna. Orchids, gentian, edelweiss and herds of grazing sheep and cows all call this place home.